Hi, my name is Khleif, and I'm the host of the Lifetime Cash Flow Through Real Estate Investing podcast. And every week I interview multifamily rock stars, and we talk about how they've built incredible wealth for themselves and their families through multifamily properties. So hit the like and subscribe buttons to get notified every Monday when a new episode comes out. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Multifamily Rock Stars. Now, this is where we interview people that are crushing it in this business. And as a reminder, this is our new show where we show you guys the inside scoop of how multifamily investors are creating massive success in their businesses. And always, we've got our co-host, Mark Nagy. He's the director of our Massive Action team on board. Mark, what's up, brother?
Hey, Rod, not too much. I've just been so inspired lately. I know we had our boot camp this past weekend, but part of what I saw on there was all the deals that our students have been doing lately. You know, almost 600 doors on 6 different deals that they've done in the past 45 days. And I love to see the Warriors just partnering together, knocking down those deals. And it is a big deal, right? You know, I get asked a lot about the economic impact of COVID, probably on a daily, if not weekly basis. And clearly our Warriors are having tons of success right now. And it's been super inspiring.
Yeah, well, they're being more conservative, but there are deals out there. So, you know, and we review everything they go after. And certainly we're being more conservative as well. I'm actually flying to Dallas on Sunday to look at about 600 doors with Robert and Tiffy. Love it. So anyway, we are excited to welcome Eric and Tamara Leever, who are Warriors in our program. And they've got 70 doors now. They're on track to get cranking, really get cranking in this multifamily game. And their background is kind of unique, which we're going to dig into a little bit. They own a construction company. And so excited to dig into this. Welcome, guys. We're glad to have you here.
Thank you. Welcome, Rod. Nice to be here.
Absolutely. So take a minute and just talk a little bit about where your background and why real estate, why you love real estate, and just give us a little background.
Okay. I was an engineer for 20 years. I worked at General Motors for about 15.
Wow.
I started in real estate about 25 years ago. I house hacked my first house, lived in it, renovated it. That really got my juices going in terms of the profit that you can make when you buy a house and renovate it. And so I started buying and flipping houses on the side, and we actually met. She actually sold me a house, new construction.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, wow. That's funny. That's awesome.
So, yeah, that's how we met. And we got married 16 years ago. In November, it'll be 16.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Don't want to mess that date up.
Yeah, people ask Tiffy and I how long we've been. Tiffy and I, people ask how long we've been married, and I say, and she hates it when I do this to her. I say 8 years, and it's been 2 of the happiest years of my life. Yeah. No, it's been 8 years. Incredible.
So, and then
congratulations. Please continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So we just, then we kind of teamed up and just started like buying houses and flipping them and whatnot. And I always had this kind of dream of I wanted a multifamily. I wanted to have apartments and the cash flow and the assets and so we just kind of.
You guys are in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Or Michigan.
Yeah. We're in Metro Detroit. We're outside of Detroit.
Yeah. A lot of opportunity.
I was going
Opportunity.
I think Detroit doesn't get a lot of love, but I think Detroit was number 1 in rent growth last year, I believe.
I believe it.
So you're starting to see a lot of people flood into this market, and so it's
awesome.
good.
Awesome.
So,
Now talk a little bit about then you got into construction. Is that as kind of a byproduct of the flipping, or was that was that a standalone initiative?
No, it was kind of a byproduct of the flipping because we found out, like, I was buying houses and basically keep them in my name and fixing them and flipping them, right?
Right.
And then we had enough money together, so we started buying multiple properties at one time. Well, then we found out when you do that, the cities tend to go, well, you can't live in all these houses at one time, so you must have a company that's holding them. And then in Michigan, you have to have a builder's license to work on like rental properties, right? So they
got you. Yeah, you got one toe in that place, one toe in that place. Yeah, gotcha. So you had to get your GC, or did you get your GC, or did you hire somebody?
So
No,
the first couple we hired,
Right.
Okay.
and then I had a builder's license for a while. I let it lapse, and then I said to Tam, I said, "Why don't you go get your builder's license?"
Really? Wow.
And I said, and I'm like, because then we have a female-owned and operated construction company,
Right.
so that if we want to branch off into this like government contract, she'll get some preferential treatment there.
Great idea.
So she went and got her real estate license. Well, she's had
Well, I've had my
she's
real
had
estate,
real estate license.
21 years, actually.
And
So you're at GC, hard hat and heels. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it.
I'll wear some Timmies any day of the week. I like to get dirty too, so it's okay.
Oh, I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mark, I'm sure you've got some questions. I've been monopolizing the conversation, but yeah, please go ahead. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Eric, you said one thing there. Obviously, Detroit gets it's a very controversial area, right? Because it's gone down for a while and now it's going up a little bit. And you guys have done a couple of things that I guess would be considered controversial in the multifamily space. Obviously, number one, investing in Detroit. But number two, investing in D-class properties, right? I know Rod's always talked about his D-class properties. And we'll talk about the challenges in a little bit, but I want to hear about the successes. Like what has gone well on those properties that, for you guys, and the successes on those deals?
Well, I mean, what's gone well is just we've been able to stabilize them, improve them, get better tenant mix, improve the cash flow, and obviously improve the value. I mean, the
rent increases are off the charts.
Are off the charts. So,
and then we have.
Give us some numbers.
So, okay, so
if you could.
When we bought the D-class asset, a 2-bedroom was I believe $450, and right now we're getting $850.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
and
almost double.
We're on pace. Well, we're on pace to get around $1050. So once I get the exterior kind of matching, because right now we kind of did it backwards. We did the units first and not the exterior, so the curb appeal doesn't match the inside.
Mm-hmm.
But we're on pace to be getting in the next year and a half, probably close to $1050 for a 2-bedroom.
Love it. Wow, that's significant. That's significant.
Yeah, so big numbers for sure.
So Mark, to piggyback. So what have been the hurdles, with that asset class? Because I tell horror stories about my experiences. With drugs and murder and prostitution. And then rinse and repeat. Yeah.
Rod, when I was in LA at your boot camp and you started talking about D-class asset, I was like, were you looking over my shoulder for the last year and a half?
Really? Yeah, we should share war stories. I mean, I talk about, holes being cut in the door to pass the crack through, and murders in and around and in front of, behind, and alongside, and the drug traffic and the cops trying to slow it down by putting barriers at the end of the street, not cut it off, just try to slow it down a little bit. And it's like, oh my God, that's.
We had. I had some drug dealers. I had some drug users. I had some pimps and prostitutes. Mm-hmm. I had bullet holes in some windows and in the walls.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And I just, with the drug dealers, when you're there every day working and trying, you see who it is, right? So I just walked up to the door and knocked on the door, and it was like on a Wednesday, and I said, I'll give you the Friday to get out, or I'm getting you out. And Sam's like, you're going to get shot. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
There is a little risk with that. That's for sure. I had Maureen from my mastermind at my boot camp this last weekend, and there's a couple stories I love that she tells. One where she has relationships with the cops, and she paid for their Christmas dinner or something, so they love her. And she had texted a cop that there were a bunch of vagrants and big vagrants, and scared the heck out of her male property manager and her. And like within seconds, there were sirens all over, and they were there and helped her. And then the second one that I love is that she used they submitted they put a letter on everybody's door in this asset that was really having some drug problems, and said they were going to allow the police to test their drug sniffing dogs. And it was like, boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
And they did. They actually brought the dogs in. But anyway, sorry, I digress.
No.
Mark, let's continue. So you've had all those issues, but you've pounded through. You've renovated, and you're cash flowing like big dogs. That's awesome, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love it. And if I remember correctly, I think you had mentioned that you guys JV'd with a close relationship that you had on those deals. Is that right?
Yep.
That's correct.
Yep.
Okay. And if I do understand,
all our deals are self-funded, right? So it's like I've never raised money.
Sure.
It's just us and our partners, and it's just money. Like our money. The renovation was completely funded by us. So it's
and I know that the plan is to start bringing more outside money in. I know.
Right, exactly. So that's
right.
the purpose, right? To come from Robin to the Warrior Group of it's,
right.
We see the benefit of, the network and the different ways to fund deals and to get out there and to meet people that are in the space is,
it's
right
huge
for us.
It's huge. And there's a ton of money in the group as well. And, like out of those 600 doors that Mark presented, I had him show them to people at that boot camp this last weekend. There were tons of partnerships between Warriors, investing in each other's deals and stuff. So I know I'm really excited for what the future brings for you guys as well inside the Warrior Group. And so go ahead, Mark. You've got a couple more questions, I know.
Yeah, well, just to add on top of that, that's a piece of advice that I always give people is when you're investing, and you give this at your boot camps as well, Rod. You always say, try not to take money from family and friends, right? It can not be worth it a lot of the times. And I always take that advice and pass it along and say, hey, always get smart money, not dumb money for your first couple of deals, right? And when I say that, I mean smart money being people that have experience in real estate investing, dumb money obviously being people that don't, family, friends, people that you have close relationships. Because when things do go wrong, obviously you don't want to be in that situation. But I want to ask that about you guys and those deals. If you guys could go back in time on these deals, whether it's the D class or Detroit or how you raise the money, what do you think you guys would do differently if you could travel back in time and redo these deals?
If anything.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would definitely ask more questions of the people that you're going to partner with, right? Are they of the same mindset? Do they understand the market that you're in versus what they're in? Because somebody in an LA or a New York market may not understand what a Detroit or a Atlanta or a,
tough part. We've got an asset in Louisiana that's been challenging and it's an environmental. I mean, it's a demographic thing. Yep. It's not the tenant base in our case. It's finding good work, good employees for that asset. But yeah, no, I totally get it. And people sometimes don't realize, they're like night and day. I just had a conversation with one of the Warriors today about Memphis and the problems that I had there in the past. And so this is top of mind for me. But it's sometimes it's a different world actually geographically, and certainly Detroit would be a great example of that for sure. I know, the next stage in your development is larger deal syndication, bigger joint ventures maybe, and which is fantastic. Is there anything, Mark? Well, is there any one piece of advice that you might give listeners that would get them going quicker in this business? Give them a quicker ROI. With what you guys know. For the people that are watching or listening that haven't done a deal yet, maybe that want to do this, maybe they're afraid of it. Just what off the cuff, what might you say to them?
Well, I would say the biggest thing I would say is just you got to get out of your own way. I mean, you can do analysis paralysis, you can analyze deals all day long, and at some point you just got to pull the trigger, right? And that's where this group, the Warrior program, offers so much in that because, going in blind, if you don't have the mentoring, if you don't have the coaching, or if you don't have, the material to learn from or people to reach out to say, to get you off that fear and go, just do it. Yeah, it's a good deal. Let's go. Right. Because that's, fear it's huge. I mean, you talk about unimaginable fear. And I mean, I can tell you from experience, we literally just jumped off the deep end, right? So
Correct.
we just bought, and you go, oh, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there literally going, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I had, years of having rentals or having single family homes, and you go, oh, well, if I have 10 homes, it's the same thing as owning an apartment complex. No, it's not.
No.
And
that's sound advice, man.
Well, then I would add 2 cents just to strike a balance of what he's saying of jump in. However, but get the right tools to underwrite and to crunch the numbers and seek advice. Even if it costs you something, it'll save you so much money in the long run.
Yeah.
If you might not know about a number or two or something or what's missing really about the information that's provided to you.
You'll avoid mistakes. I mean, that's why, I sell t-shirts at my boot camp that say, ask me how I know, because I've made every freaking mistake you can make. It's a little embarrassing sometimes because there's so many of them, but
right.
Better me and prevent, my students from making them. Go ahead, Mark, fire away with the next one.
So based on that, are you guys thinking of changing strategy then? Are you looking at other markets outside of Detroit, thinking about going C class or B class, or you want to continue to take a beating in the D class? What are you guys thinking?
We've expanded our market. I mean, we're looking in, the Carolinas, we're looking at Ohio, Indiana, which we've always kind of looked at Ohio and Indiana because they're close to us, right? So it's something I can drive to, fine. We've had some deals come across our desk from Florida and Texas this year.
Okay.
But they didn't pen out even enough for me to even reach out to anybody within the Warrior program to say, hey, this is,
You got to kiss a lot of frogs.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I've seen the stuff I've seen so far this year, a lot of it, it's amazing to me is that they come in and they go, we're asking 10 million and it better be close to asking price. In a quick overview of it and underwriting, you go, it's really worth about 8. And the thing goes pending at 10 in 3 days. You go, how are these people like this?
There's a lot of skinny deals happening right now. And that's why, you guys are in the right place, because I think some of those are going to come full circle here and there's going to be some pain. And I've been talking about it. And I really believe there's going to be a crash. And so, it's going to be, and then it's going to be those skinny deals where these guys, shoehorned in, didn't do a lot of operating reserves, can't sustain much of, their break even is, 90%, and ours is typically 65. And so, there's going to be some pain. It's funny, you guys are in all the markets that we're in. So, if you find a large deal, definitely hit us up. We've done now, I think, 1,500 doors with our students over the last 18 months. And Ohio is a market we have 2 assets in. Texas, you mentioned, Georgia. Haven't done South Carolina now. We've got one in South Carolina. So those are all in Florida, of course. We're kind of aligned as far as geographically where we're interested. So, let us know, obviously, if you find a big one that you want help with, we get involved in those too. But
there's a little tidbit that you mentioned there that I wanted to touch on that I've learned, over my experience in, real estate negotiation, but I would just say negotiation in general. You said that, $10 million asking price, and they said, well, you better come in close to $10 million, but it was worth only 8. What I found, and you guys have probably found this interesting as well, is the people that always try and justify their price up front, and they add that little extra thing in of, you better come in close to asking, or price is firm, right? Firm. That's always an interesting negotiation. Those are usually the people that it's not worth what they're asking for because they need to justify it up front. And it's just a little tip there of, to keep your ear out listening, that when you hear things like that from brokers and whatnot, that can be a little bit of a red flag, right? Someone that says firm, or you got to do this, or they're trying to justify it up front. Usually people that believe in their product or what they're offering, they don't have to do that. It speaks for itself, right? It's going to sell itself. Well, and I just wanted to touch on that because I've learned that through negotiating on anything in life, really. Go ahead.
Tam looked at a 112 unit property literally yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, this week, a couple days ago. One was a 64 unit, one was a 48.
And they were selling it as a total package.
Mm-hmm.
And So she walks the property. It's a broker open house, so she goes and walks the property, and they're asking $78 a door. And I knew the property. I'm like, oh yeah, I looked at that building 4 years ago, and I looked at it at 35, and it wasn't worth 35 a door. And
Wow.
and I'm like, how much are they asking? And she goes, 78 a door. And I literally busted out laughing, and I go, well, if that's worth 78 a door, I said our 48 units worth 200,000 a door. I mean, you go
100%.
I'm like,
Well, the market is hot. There's a lot of it. I call it irrational exuberance, and that is always a sure sign that times are going to change. Okay, when
Sure.
it's irrational like that, and so
Well, I like to look at it more to network, and to me, I had met that broker
Oh,
face to
sure.
face.
No. That's
Why
right.
go take
You're building broker relationships. I mean, you don't have to take the wind from his sales. You just say, this one's not going to work for us. Please keep us in mind, and
right.
here's why it won't work, and you're building relationship. No, that's fantastic, and that's
Right.
critical. Yeah.
Love it. So go ahead.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, last thing I wanted to throw you guys, and especially, since we've got the election coming up soon, I'm sure a lot of things are going to change no matter what happens. What have you guys been doing personally to overcome a lot of the fear out there in the world right now, whether it is working with your coach more, reading more, educating, meditation, whatever? What are you guys personally doing?
Well, I mean, I started meditating actually in January this year, so that's kind of helped some to some of it, right? A lot of the books that Rod has recommended, I've read to help with mindset. I mean, that's because it's very easy in this business to get, especially when you're doing what I'm doing with a D asset. It's very easy to get a very, very mindset crash. I mean, just you're every day struggling to, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
So that's been some of it, and then some of it is just the belief that things go up and down, times change, but ultimately you're buying in something and building something that you believe in, right? So, I believe in multifamily, I believe in commercial property. So, whether the market goes up or down, if it's down, it only matters if I'm trying to sell it, right? So if it's cash flowing
or refinance or
refinance, right?
Yeah.
But if it's cash flowing and it's you own the asset and you're paying it down and you're making monthly, I mean, it's okay. You got something, right? And all the fear out there, and you just have to believe that it's going to be okay, and you just have to sit there and have that belief that it's going to work out, and that you just keep pushing through. And that's hard. I trust me. But it is a mindset thing where you just push through sometimes, and you just have to be mentally strong to do it.
Tamara, anything to add?
I've been spending time. I've had more time to network more across the country because of the Zoom calls and being invited to things that you wouldn't be invited to necessarily. And it's actually made my time more efficient because you can't always get to everything. And so it's actually been beneficial. I try to be very positive. My theory is, my glass is half full at all times. Flip it. Like if there's a negative, just flip it around. And then I've done incorporated the release meditation, where if you have a negative thought into your mind, cancel has been, and then replace it with 3 positive things. So that's beautiful. Definitely, I've incorporated that during this time.
Yeah, that's is that from our high performance program on the high performance calls? Yeah, those release meditations. So yeah, those of you that don't know what she's talking about, we have, part of our mentorship program includes high performance calls, which are motivational, and you're basically looking in the mirror and becoming a better human being. We go through things like your clarity, your courage to take action, your ability to influence people, your productivity, your ability to systemize the business. So it's not real estate, but these things are foundational, life and real estate, but your relationships, your mission and purpose in life, and so that's what she's talking about there. And guys, it's interesting as it relates to the meditation. I'm glad you brought it up. Right now, focus is everything. And if you're listening to this and and you find yourself getting sucked into the, God help us with the politics and the media. I mean, I'm finding myself getting angry all the time. And so, it's really important to pay attention to that and mitigate it. And I tell the story and I don't know if this is what influenced you to start meditating in January at my boot camp, but I tell the story of the only podcast that I listen to really regularly. I added Joe Rogan now just for the amusement, but Tim Ferriss, Tim Ferriss, interviews the best in the world in what they do. I mean, world-class athletes, politicians, billionaires, CEOs, and I started to see a pattern. They all freaking meditate, and really focus is power, and meditation enhances your focus. So I'm really glad you asked that question, Mark, because especially right now, it's so important to pay attention to what you're focused on, because obviously what you focus on gets larger, good or bad.
I'll say even within the Warrior program too, it's nice, when you have a down day or you're having a struggle with something, right? Is you can reach out to people in the Warrior program that are either where you were at one point, so they can relate, right? And they can kind of, hey, keep your chin up, you'll get through it, right? And you can do the same for other people. I mean, because I've reached out to people within the group when I've had a bad day or something like that, and they, they'll call me or they'll, shoot me a text or whatever. And it's just to know, that I'm not alone, right?
Like-minded people.
That you have people around you that have been there, done that. Yep. That can relate to how you're feeling and
it makes a huge difference. And
it does.
And have a support network. And we've been blessed. I attract people that want to help other people. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's we don't have ego in there. We don't have narcissism in there. We have people that truly just want to help each other. And all these little groups that have been formed, accountability groups, underwriting groups, and things like that are in there are just freaking awesome. But, any other questions, Mark? Or, here's a question. What drives you guys? What's the motivator? What's your why?
The easy answer is freedom.
Yeah.
Probably the bigger, deeper answer would be, our daughter, right? And giving back, right? Like, I'll give you an example. When we bought this property that we're renovating, and it had, drug dealers, pimps, prostitutes, drug users. It was, right? The police were there 4 or 5 times a week or more, right? We buy it within 6 months. The police chief, the police chief has come up to me going, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it, because we haven't been there once, right? Mm-hmm. And I had a couple tenants that were single moms come up to me crying and hug me and say, thank you so much for cleaning this place up.
Wow. Doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah. And
exactly.
And does not get much better than that. Nope.
And, and doing all the renovation and then moving some of these tenants into a renovated unit, and they just sit there and they start crying, because it's like, when we got them, it's new cabinets, new countertops, new bathrooms, it's new. Nice. And they just start crying, and they're like, they're willing to pay the extra rent, but it's just that kind of giving back to the community, right?
Well, they know they're taken care of, though, on a deeper level. Just that, it's not just the new cabinet, it's the safety, and it's, the security feeling.
Like, we secured the buildings. I changed the doors so that now you have to have a key to get into the building. Before, they were just open, and just stuff. But it's just having that. When those couple women came up, literally bawling their eyes out, hugging me, saying thank you, it's like, okay, I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, sir. Love it. I absolutely love it. Well, listen, guys, it's been a real treat to have you on. It's great to see you again. I'm hating that we're not able to get together. We have our Warrior Only events where we just sit and we do deal enhanced deal review and area review for 2 days and go on a bus tour, and haven't been able to do it. It's just making me crazy. So hopefully the world will open up soon, and we can shake hands, hug, and get back to normal. But it's great to see you. Appreciate you being on the show.
And a couple quick things really quickly I wanted to add before we close it out. On the meditation topic, for those people listening, a great YouTube channel that I use, it's called Great Meditation, is the YouTube channel. For people like me that can't focus very long and I can't do a 30-minute or an hour of meditation, they've got awesome 10-minute guided YouTube clips that are fantastic. Again, it's called Great Meditation. Subscribe to it. And it's just sitting down for 10 minutes. Everybody has 10 minutes in the day to do it. 100% worth it. And also for people that are listening, maybe in Michigan or Ohio, Indiana, Texas, Florida, those places that you guys are looking to invest into, how can the listeners find you guys and reach out to you?
Right now, it's pretty much Facebook and LinkedIn. We have a website that's not up and operational yet, but it's soon to be themadregroup.com is the website that'll be up here shortly. So Facebook, LinkedIn, you call us, reach out, text us, phone number.
Nice. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. Great to see you. Mark, good to see you. And until next time, take care, guys. See you later.
Yep, great seeing you guys.
Yeah. Thanks.
Rod, I know a lot of our listeners are wanting to take their multifamily investing business to the next level. Now, I know you've been hard at work helping our Warrior students do just that using our ACT methodology, which is awareness, close, and transform. Can you explain to the listeners how they can get our help?
You bet. Guys, we've been going nonstop for 3 years, building an amazing community of like-minded people. And our coaching students, which we call our warriors, have had extraordinary results. They've purchased thousands and thousands of units. And last year, we did over 1,000 units with our students. And we're looking to grow this group and take it to the next level. We're looking for people who want to follow a proven framework that's really step by step and then leverage our systems and network to raise equity, to find and close deals, and to build partnerships nationwide. Now, our warrior community is finding success in any market cycle. So if you're interested in finding out more about how you can become more of our incredible network and take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are coming very soon, apply to work with us at mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 41411. That's mentorwithrod.com or text CRUSH to 41411.